grab your popcorn. I was born in Seoul, South Korea in 1981. And I wasn't born in a hospital. I was born in a house. So there was actually no documentation of me being born. My mother and my father ended up separating, and my mother had to work quite a bit. It's in the 80s to survive. So my grandmother was the one that was actually taking care of me. A few years later, my mother and father reunite, and she got pregnant again, and she had my sister. While she got pregnant, my father left her. So again, she had to go get another job, and my grandmother had to take care of both of us. And at this time, it was too hard for my grandmother to take care of both of us. And my mother just had to work a lot. So she made the executive decision to give us up for adoption. That's without my mom's knowledge. They did leave the adoption papers open for me and my sister to find them eventually if we wanted to. My sister and I, we were in an orphanage until we got adopted. Then a couple from Pennsylvania adopted my sister and I together. And they were the first family in Pennsylvania to adopt sisters from Korea. So now I have new parents. I have an American father who retired from the Navy. I think he served 22 years. My adopted mom is Okinawan Japanese. My Okinawan mother was not able to have any children. She actually adopted an American boy before us. When they adopted me, I was 5, and my sister was 18 months. And my new brother is a year younger than I am. So I came to America not speaking a lick of English. I had to start kindergarten immediately with no English. So I had to take speech therapy for many years. I believe 6 years, 5 or 6 years. And growing up in the Midwest, because I live here in Ohio. So now, imagine going to school, not speaking any English at all. Kids are cruel. And I grew up in a little town. And there was maybe one other Asian. Okay, fast forward. My father ended up passing away from a heart aneurysm and a stroke. Years later, my adopted mother passed away also from old age. She was older. They were older when they adopted us, because they did try to have kids. When my father passed, I had this empty feeling that I wanted to find my family. And years before that, my sister knew someone that worked in an adoption agency, and she told her that my sister and I weren't real sisters. My sister's like half Chinese or something. That totally messed up our heads. Like, people should not, if you don't know, you should definitely not say things like that. So then I went on a mission, and I started emailing the adoption agency here in America that adopted us. And they had no information. I gave them our real Korean names and our adopted parents' names. We didn't know, at the time, we didn't know our biological parents' names. So they came back and said they didn't have anything in records. They don't know anything about anything. So I started emailing every single adoption agency. Finally, one came back and said, try this adoption agency in Korea. And this took about a year. I emailed the adoption agency. It's a huge adoption agency in Korea. And they came back and said, I think you might be in the system through this adoption agency. I was just going back and forth with all these adoption agencies, and this was all through email, so I never really expected anything to come out of it. So if I got an answer, great. If I didn't, great. If I get to meet my real family in this lifetime, great. If not, I've already accepted it. Finally, this one agency got back to me and said, yeah, you're in the system. And at this time, I'm like, what? Yeah, right. We're all, and I'm telling my sister about all of this. And we're just kind of in denial. They emailed me and said, "Do you want us to call the police and have them go to your mom's house and see if she would like to reunite with you?" I'm like, "Absolutely." Again, I didn't think anything of it. I mean, it is a little exciting, but I didn't want to get my hopes up. They asked us to write out an email letter to her, send some pictures, and we did that. No lie, the next day, they contacted me. My mom and my aunt went straight to the adoption agency. They emailed us back. I can't totally remember if they called us or emailed. Regardless, there was a lot of emotions at this time. So I am so excited. Look, I'm shaking talking about it. The adoption agency had a translator and was reading back and forth the emails that both my sister and I are emailing to my mom. And finally, we didn't need the adoption agency anymore because my mom's neighbor spoke English. Then my husband and I talked about it and we flew her out here. Also, come to find out, she's no longer married to my dad. She has an amazing new husband now. He treats her so well. He's such a great guy. Sorry, this gets emotional for me. So we fly them out here and I just stare at her and I'm like, that is me. That is me. I already knew. I knew that was my mom. I just knew. And plus, what people that don't speak English just fly out here to some random people's houses? But my sister is still a little leery. I mean, when that one lady told us she was half Chinese and stuff, so my sister was like, "I want a DNA test." Like, absolutely, I think we all should. That's a great idea. But I already knew. I just knew. So we get a DNA test right before my mom leaves. My mom goes back to Korea, and my sister calls me up crying. I'm like, "Oh no." She's like, "That is 99.9% our mom, and you are 99.9% my sister." I seriously never thought in this lifetime I would ever meet my biological mother. But when my mom was here, the whole time she cried. She said for all these years, she hated herself. She hated her mom. She just hoped that we had a better life because, come to find out, she told me they couldn't even afford to feed me at all. They couldn't afford formula for my sister. I mean, I can't imagine what it was like in the 80s. So about 2 years ago, I went to Korea and I got to meet the rest of my family. I met my grandmother. She could not let go of me. She cried and she was just speaking in Korean. And at this time, I already forgot Korean. I don't know what anybody's saying. We're using Google Translator. And she just won't stop crying. And my mom kept saying, "She's the one that took care of you. She's the one that took care of you." Keep in mind, we're in a restaurant. So I have a stepbrother and he's there. The family's there. Everybody's reuniting with me. And people in the restaurant were crying. It was absolutely amazing. I got to see how my mom lived. So she actually owned a butcher shop and she lived above it. So when a customer came, she just come downstairs. And then she also owned a bed and breakfast at the beach. Then she sold that in Seoul, moved to the country, and now she owns a fried chicken and beer restaurant. I wish I got to spend more time there. I spent a week there, and then I went to Japan a week later because I had my mom's ashes, and this is how I planned my vacation, because my mom wanted her ashes spread in Japan. For now, I'm going to leave the story right here, and I will do another more about me in another video sometime. I thank God every day for how blessed I am. I am truly blessed. And I keep reassuring my mother that I have a really good life here in America.